In this video, I'll be reacting to Tyla's wellness, skincare, and makeup routine.
Hello Vogue, it's Tyla and this is my wellness slash skincare slash makeup routine. I light a candle.
Yeah, this could be a very spiritual type of occasion. So I understand, some people like to, light candles. Other people do other ritualistic things.
I went to Thailand for the first time and I met a lot of new people and they taught me about this, my word. I used to see these things and I was like, it's not real, whatever. But this thing is so calming. Like, I'm gonna show you guys.
Yeah, it's basically like trying to engage your different senses. So in this case, it's like the sound healing. For other people, it's smell, right? So like lighting incense, that type of thing can work for people. In her case, it's also the candles. There's also like a physicality to the actual creams and the topical serums or ointments that are applied to the face. There's a lot of senses at play, our smell, our sight, our feeling. So you're really engaging most of your senses, except for maybe taste. Unless you happen to eat while doing your routine, which is possible.
I like doing this in the morning and then praying and starting my day clear. So now getting into the skincare cleanser. I have a little friend because it's that time of the month. There you go. I was really not a skincare girl. I used to watch YouTube videos and everything of people having skincare routines and everything, but we didn't really have all those products in South Africa, so I was literally just a baby soap and any lotion kind of girl.
Yeah, the problem with the soap alone is that it can dehydrate your skin. So a good facial cleanser is going to have the ability to moisturize your skin while also cleaning it. So that's essentially what goes into a good facial cleanser.
I started being more careful with my skin and making sure that I take care of it because I have to wear makeup and everything when I perform. I like to take this spritz. It smells so good and it makes me feel like fresh.
Yeah, the face mist can be effective, but it can also be useful to try something like a hyaluronic acid serum that can really penetrate the skin and provide that added level of moisture and hydration.
I use this moisturizer.
Yeah, the order seems very appropriate, starting with something like a cleanser, then moving on to some degree of hydration. In her case, it's the mist, and then she's applying her facial moisturizer. That makes sense.
Literally all my face moisturizers have to be thick. Like, I can't have a thin lotion because I always end up feeling dry.
Everyone likes a different consistency to their facial moisturizer. Some people like it where it's really thin, where it absorbs really fast, and other people like that kind of thicker moisturizer where you still have that appearance of that like white residue that stays behind, but you get like a more moisturized potential feel to it. So it just depends, and there's everything in between. It's like a spectrum, just like anything else. I would love for Tyla to try one of our Feel Confident hyaluronic acid serums. I think she'll feel even more moisturized with that before she applies her moisturizer. So we'll make sure to send her some.
So this is like blades. I've been using this for years to do my eyebrows. Please do not try this at home. Please, I'm from the Gala's me, so I know this is a very big brush, but I'm just gonna now brush it through a little bit. So I take the blade, I pull the skin.
Those look like the Persona blades that we use for custom cutting our recipient side blades when we do hair transplants, actually. But in this case, she's going to use it very carefully on her eyebrows.
And I literally like line it up. Because I have to do my own eyebrows because I've had so many horror stories where people try to do my eyebrows and they made it thin.
My wife tends to complain about the same thing. Anytime she goes to get her eyebrows done, they're always like thinning them out, and that can be a big problem for women who want to preserve that thicker eyebrow. So I commend Tyla for doing it herself. It's interesting, she does have that small gap in her left eyebrow, right around where the body of the brow transitions to the tail of the brow. Sometimes that could just be something you're born with. Other times it's because of some trauma to the area, maybe like a deeper cut, like from a laceration, for example. There are ways, of course, to cover that up with makeup. There also is microblading, and there's also an eyebrow hair transplant, though that's a bit maybe more radical for this type of indication. And if it doesn't bother her, and I think it's like a cool characteristic type of look, then she should just let it be. It reminds me of Charlie Puth's eyebrow. I believe his maybe right eyebrow has also that small gap that's quite characteristic for his look.
I don't like thin eyebrows on me. I feel like I look way better with thicker eyebrows.
Thick eyebrows are in.
My next step is sunscreen. And I really like this one because it doesn't leave a white cast after.
Yeah, it's good to introduce the sunscreen or sunblock after applying the moisturizer. Remember that there are chemical sunscreens, but then there are also zinc and titanium sunblocks available as well. And it just comes down to what the person likes and what feels best on their skin.
I then use this eye cream. I didn't think eye cream worked, but I actually saw a difference. And it makes me feel bougie when I put on eye cream. I don't know why.
An eye cream usually ends up being a little bit thicker than just a regular facial moisturizer, and it's meant to reduce some of that discoloration that we can get in the under eye area and to promote the improvement of the crepiness of that skin in the under eye region.
Vaseline gave me a whole custom Tyla bedazzled one, so let me use this one today.
Yeah, the lip balm is also meant for hydration of the lips. Most of the serums and the creams that are used on our face are meant to increase moisture. That's really one of the primary purposes of most of these products that are sold online or in stores. There are, of course, some other indications. Sometimes it's to reduce inflammation. Sometimes we're looking to increase the cell turnover with things like retinol or retinoic acid. And of course, sunblock has its own indication, which is to protect us from UV rays. And some creams are meant to improve the coloration of our skin.
So now I'm going to start with the makeup. When I have to look presentable, this is what I do.
You can see how it's possible to have so many steps in your routine. And that's why I think it's important to simplify where you can simplify. So for like the AM skincare routine, trying to just like pare it down to the essentials. Basically your cleanser, your like let's say HA serum or the mist in her case, the moisturizer, the sunscreen, like that's usually enough. You don't need to do a million other things. Under eye cream, that's fine. But having a 14-step skincare routine and then following that up with like 14 more steps of makeup, first of all, going to take you forever to just get ready for the day. But you also have to wonder what the impact will be on your skin when you're doing these types of routines over and over and over again. And also the impact on your wallet, because this can get extremely expensive.
And then I bronze up like the sides of my face and under my nose and above here. I like the button type look.
Who doesn't like the button look? I have a proud nose. I'm okay with it.
My eyes always crease no matter what I do. I've searched TikTok left, right, and center. There's no hack that works for me. Before I powder, I have to get rid of that again. I have to try and keep my eyes open for as long as possible so it doesn't crease as much. And then I take this powder. It's black opal.
Yeah, creasing is totally normal, and she's only 22, I believe, and still has this creasing, totally normal. And some people try to improve the creasing of the lower eyelid with the use of Botox, and you have to be very careful because you can affect the natural function of the lower eyelid if you inject Botox directly there. So crow's feet Botox is one thing laterally, pretty far lateral, and then I usually recommend against injecting the Botox directly into the lower eyelid itself because of the functional deficits that you can see. And in that case, it won't be worth it just to kind of help smooth out that area.
Have to do my edges, guys. So I use any brush. I love braids, guys. I've always loved braids, and it's not only for the style, but also convenience. I'm traveling so much. I have to do so much, and curly hair is so difficult to manage. Oh my word.
So I will interject here that with braids, remember, you're putting tension on your hair follicles, right? So as you do that, it causes some degree of inflammation, and everyone reacts differently. But usually after, like, say, years of sustained braids, some people will notice that the hairline will appear thinner and can sometimes even be a bit more receded because of the impact of the braids and that tightness on your hair. So you want to be careful with like these tighter hairstyles, because maybe at 22 she's fine, but now project out 5 years, 10 years, maybe even longer, and there might be some ill effect on those hairline follicles. So something to remember when considering various hairstyles.
This was so much fun. Thank you so much to Vogue. Bye to all my tigers. Love you.
There's a lot that goes into looking as great as Tyla, but you know, it's awesome of her for sharing her routine, and hopefully everyone learned something. And I don't know, I think I had at least something to add for part of this.